What is going on, everyone? Shake and Bake 2355. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Jaguars franchise here on Madden 18. We are 12 games into the season, so like every 4 games, I like to do kind of like a league recap, where I just kind of go over stats, standings, injuries, league leaders, all that stuff. And this episode will also take a look at the final 4 games of the season, see who's on the schedule, and go over a little bit of playoff kind of scenarios. Well, let's start right off in the division. We are 9-3, currently leading the AFC South. I'm surprised as much as you guys are that we've turned it around in over a year with first-year coach Nick Waters. Texans 6-6, Titans 5-7, Colts are 3-9. I'll talk more on that, but we can actually clinch a playoff berth with a win and a little bit of help from the Texans if they were to lose. AFC North, Steelers are 10-2, Ravens 6-5-1, Bengals 6-6, Browns 3-9. AFC East, Patriots lead the way. We just beat them in a amazing game last week, 8-4 they are. Dolphins 6-6, 5-6-1 are the Bills, and the Jets still looking for a win at 0-11-1. The Chargers are leading the AFC West 7-4-1. Chiefs and Broncos on their heels at 6-6, and the Raiders 4-7-1 in the basement. Now over to the NFC. Vikings lead the way at 11-1. Lions 7-5. Packers 6-6. And my Bears are 4-8. I don't want to talk about that. Falcons 9-3. Buccaneers 7-5. Panthers 6-6. And the Saints 4-8. So the NFC South is still a pretty good division, but starting to get a little space in between the teams. Over in the NFC East, the Redskins 8-4. We had a good victory over them a couple weeks ago. Giants on their tail at 7-4-1. And then the Eagles 3-8-1. Cowboys 3-9. They're out of it. Over in the NFC West, the Seahawks are 9-3. Rams 6-6. Cardinals 5-7. And the Niners 3-8-1 in the basement. Now on to the injury report. Only a couple names, but they are big names nonetheless. Miles Jack unfortunately broke his thumb in the last game. I forgot to show that. And unfortunately, he's going to miss the rest of the regular season. We'll only be back if we make it to the playoffs, and I believe that's like divisional round at the earliest. And then Paul Posluszny still has 2 games left. But once he comes back, Lindsey Henderson, he's been playing amazing for Posluszny. He's just going to move over and fill in for Miles Jack. On to player stats now. TJ Russo, 2,300 yards, 23 touchdowns, 7 picks, 73% completion percentage. Pretty good rookie numbers there. Jake Rudock, 1,200 yards in his when Russo was injured. Fournette, 941 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he missed 4 games. So he's got a good shot at breaking 1,000 on the season. Yeldon, 476 in a score. Russo, 16 of 59 and the 1 rushing touchdown. And then Jake Rudock had those 2 rushing scores in the 1 game, 6 for 22. On to receiving, Luke Wilson, 92 receptions. So probably going to get to 100 at least. Could break the tight end record possibly. Over 1,000 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns. Allen Robinson, 85 receptions, 1,300 yards, 5 touchdowns. And Marquise Lee, sitting at 626 with 4 games left. A good chance we could get 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. That'd be awesome. D.D. Westbrook's having a really good year in the slot for us. 488, 5 touchdowns. He's really stepped up. And then Walter Dixon's been a pleasant surprise. 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then A.J. Donald, 3 for 39. Not doing as well as Dixon, but he's on the field contributing. Hawker's been pretty much a non-factor, with the emergence of Luke Wilson. Our first round pick, number 4 overall, Brandon Fain's giving up 8 sacks. It's 800 and some downs played. Not terrible, but not very good either. So hopefully he'll be better next year. But we're not going to give up on him. He's only a rookie. Barry Church leads the team in tackles, followed by Tayshaun Gibson, Telvin Smith, and Paul Posluszny. Both missed significant time. So it just goes to show how good they are, that they're that high up on the ranks. Lindsey Henderson up there as well. I'm not going to name everyone's tackles. You can see them as I scroll through. But this defense has been a disappointment this year. It's no surprise. We've given up a ton more points than we did last year when we were arguably a worse defense in terms of personnel. But for whatever reason, we cannot get it going this year. Posluszny, though, 14 tackles for loss. It's actually a league leader. When we get to the league leaders, I'll explain why he's not on there. Well, I can't explain it, but I'll let you know he's not on there. But you guys know from other videos that for some reason the game does that. It keeps our guys out of the league out of the NFL totals. Yannick Ngakoue, 8 sacks, leads the team. Calais Campbell second with 7. Telvin Smith third with 6. He had 4 in that one game. Posluszny 4.5. And Avery Jones, it was the Colts game, he had 4 in. And then interception, Jalen Ramsey leads the team. He has 2. And then we have 6 guys with 1. So we have 8 total. I believe that's already more than we had last year, but that's still not a whole ton. So hopefully we can get a little better at that these last 4 games. In terms of forced fumbles, we have Lindsey Henderson and Gibson have forced 3 for the team lead. Miles Jack has 2. And then Ramsey, Colvin, Church, Boye, and Ngakoue have 1 of their own. And then in terms of defensive touchdowns, we have 2 on the year. Both are pick sixes. Aaron Colvin. And then AJ Boye is actually a fumble recovery in the last game against the Patriots for a touchdown. And so now looking at the NFL stats, Stafford still leads the way in passing, followed by Rodgers, Brady, Eli Manning, Alex Smith still hanging out in the top 5. In terms of passing touchdowns, Roethlisberger still leads the way with 30. Stafford has 29 in second. Brady's 28. He had 5 of those against us last week. Drew Brees 26. And then Alex Smith surprisingly 25. Russo's hanging in there in 7th. He has 23. Over to interceptions. Mitchell Trubisky leads the NFL with 22. Turner Robach, another one of the rookie quarterbacks we looked at, has 17. He's second. Rodgers has 15, although he hasn't thrown any since our last update 4 games ago. Tyrod Taylor has 14. In terms of yards per game, Matthew Stafford leads the way 325. Rodgers second with 322. Jake Rudock is currently third, but he didn't really qualify. He's only played like 3 games. Eli Manning, though, is up there. Kerry Kondo is the other rookie quarterback we were looking at. I think Russo's got him beat in terms of numbers, but Kondo's doing a lot better than that Robach guy, or Rayback. I'm not really sure how you say his name. On to rushing now. Le'Veon Bell leads the NFL, 1,300 yards, followed by Gurley, Freeman, Murray, and LaShawn McCoy. And then there's Rawls and David Johnson are also over 1,000 at this point. Dalvin Cook, 13 rushing touchdowns. Bell second with 12. Gordon and Ingram and Theo Riddick have 11 rounding off the top 5. Over to average yards per game, Le'Veon Bell leads the NFL 109.2. Fournette's second with 104.6. Again, I'm not sure if he qualifies because he did miss like 4 games. But either way, that he's getting 100 yards of the games he's playing, so that's pretty good. Not going to complain there. On to the receiving stats. Luke Wilson leads the NFL with 92 receptions. Devontae Adams second with 89. Robinson 85. Jordan Nelson fourth 78. And Marvin Jones Jr. has 76. So the top 4 are all Packers and Jaguars respectively. And then receiving yards, Robinson leads the NFL 1,349 yards. Cameron Meredith went from the Bears to the Lions in the offseason. And the Bears probably wish they had him with that terrible record they have, because he has 1,000. Luke Wilson is third with 1,000 as well, followed by Michael Thomas and Brandon Cooks. Imagine if Cooks was still in the Saints. That'd be ridiculous. Allen Robinson, average yards per game, crushing at 112. Meredith is the next best at 87. That's almost 50 points worse, 45 yards per game less. And rounding out is Brandon Cooks. Receiving touchdowns, Luke Wilson leads the NFL currently with 15. But Antonio Brown is right on his heels at 14. Trey Burton, surprisingly, with 11 for the Cardinals. Drew Brees is there, so that probably has something to do with that. And then Meredith and Michael Thomas round off the top 5. On to defense now. Tackles. Scooby Wright, the third, 121. I love that name. Kwiatkowski's up there. We don't have anyone in tackles, so what I'm about to say doesn't really apply to this. But tackles for loss example. Like, remember Posluszny had 14. Well, he's not showing up on here in the NFL. I don't know why, but so he's really third, but nonetheless, Damon Harris leads the NFL. And then these guys are worse than Posluszny, but it just doesn't show it. On to sacks, it's the same thing, but we don't have anyone that will qualify anyway because our best guy has 8. But Brandon Graham, 16.5. He still has 4 games left. He could really do some damage. Everson Griffin and then Ezekiel Ansah, Kerrigan, Jay Howard, they all are in double digits with 4 games to go. Interceptions, Jamal Adams, second-year man. I believe he was out of LSU. 6 interceptions. Leads the way, and then a bunch of guys with 5. Ramsey's our leader with 2, so we're not going to be on there anyway. Forced fumbles, Shane Ray. A couple Vikings lead the way there with 3. I mean, there's a lot of guys with 3, I guess, and then a bunch of guys with 2. Not going to name them off. Same with touchdowns. A bunch of people with a defensive touchdown. Just kind of quickly scroll through. So now on to the remaining schedule and kind of the playoff scenario. We got at the Cowboys this coming week, and then we host the Texans, host the Jets, who at this point don't have a win, and then at Texans to round out. Now, we are 3 games ahead of the Texans with 4 games left. So if we can win and they lose, that puts us 4 games ahead with 3 games to play. That means we would clinch. So if the Texans lose this week and we win, we are the AFC South champs for 2018. If not, though, if the Texans win, we will have to beat them next week to clinch. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you want to enjoy it, please leave a like down below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more Jaguars franchise. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, peace.